A makerspace itself is a place where people can go learn how to make things and do things that maybe they had no idea that they'd be able to learn to do on their own.
I think communities should all be looking at makerspaces that help entrepreneurs. In a place like the Emporia Main Street Fabrication Lab that can help people through that ideation and creation process, creates real economic growth for our small towns. We can't hope that somebody else is going to come in and save our towns. Our citizens have to do that themselves, but they deserve the support to make that process happen.
I am the Fabrication Lab Manager. I help entrepreneurs come up with new ideas, products. We start from the bare bone basics on a drawing on a napkin all the way to a finished product is what our goal is. We provide a very big, broad resources and tools, anything from a large format printer that we can print on a variety of materials, which is where we do a lot of the help with the marketing, artwork, stuff like that, designed for the businesses. We got a laser cutter and engraver, vacuum form machine, and then also kind of where we start out on a lot of product design is 3D print because it's cheaper. And then once we 3D print, prototype it, make sure we like it, and if it needs to be out of metal or something like that, we got our CNC mill, which allows us to machine out of solid material products.
People have to know about it. Like, people have to know it. It's here. There's so much more that they could be doing if people just knew that they were here and that there was that option.
This space has given our community access to a lot of things that we wouldn't have had otherwise. And we wouldn't have in the small quantity that a lot of us in a smaller community and a smaller business need. You know, we don't need 100,000 pieces. We might need 10. Well, big business isn't going to want to work with us because we have such a small order. So it was out of reach for the longest time. Now, with having this at our fingertips, you know, we can't put all of this equipment in our own businesses. It just knowing how to run it would take too much. But having one person dedicated to be able to have the knowledge and to try it, it makes it so much easier for the business community to make those items happen.
My name's Del Jacob, and I am one of the founders of Imaginarium. We are a STEM education center and a children's makerspace.
So makerspaces provide an opportunity for people to be creative. So we primarily work with children, so they get to come in, bring their imaginations, and we provide the tools and the equipment for them, and they get to set their imaginations to work. I see us as the early stages of STEM education, critical thinking. We get the kids in here doing that and then get to flourish and move on as they get older.
We saw the benefits to economic development for communities with the Makerspace. I started thinking there should be one of these in every community in Kansas, really in the United States, but in Kansas particularly. And Network Kansas saw the benefit of that too. So early on, they helped us sponsor what we called Makerspace boot camps, where they would help sponsor people to come around from the communities all over Kansas, really. And we tried to inspire them to go back to their community and start a Makerspace. And we always said, if you have a library, you might be able to work with them to set one up there because the building's already there. Generally, they already have some staff, and that's two of the biggest things besides just the equipment if you're going to start a makerspace. So we always talked in terms of maybe using a library.
Radius Brewing Company is a brew pub, so we're a full-service restaurant that also has a brewery right in the middle of the dining room. We rebranded a little over a year ago and really needed some cool tap handles to make our brand stand out. And so we came to them with a really rudimentary idea and said, hey, can you kind of help us turn this into a physical thing that we can see and touch before we have somebody actually produce it for us? To know that, hey, we can test this concept, we can build one, we can go to the Fab Lab and say, hey, we've got this idea. And for us, it gives us a lot of freedom to really try and innovate and come up with new ideas, knowing that, you know, it's not just going to die on a piece of paper. We can actually get it built.
I more or less maintain the various pieces of technology around the building, like our Makerspace, the 3D printers, the computers. We've noticed a lot more foot traffic that is engaging with it. And it's been great for the community because it's teaching them new skills. It's allowing them to access things that they could barely have dreamed of before. In large part, we've been collaborating with other libraries in our consortium. Us having this technology has more or less been a way for them to test whether or not it is feasible, viable, or just worth their library obtaining similar technology. It has benefited the entire area very well. They're having people that are opening new businesses, which means more income revenue for the area. All in all, there's not been any drawbacks, but near infinite benefits to it.